Whoever may be watching, thanks for tuning in. My name is Captain Jeremy Thurn with my dad, JJ Thurn, and today we have my cousin, Tammy. Cousin Tammy. You want your last name?
Sure.
Cousin Tammy Williams.
It's a test.
That's right.
And Jim is here all the way from Washington, D.C.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
Not Washington State, D.C., District of Columbia.
That's right.
She's got all the scoop on what's going on in Washington, right?
Definitely.
That's right. She's got it right straight. She knew the vice president pick was going to be for Biden before anybody else.
That's right. Underground.
That's right. But you guys aren't tuning in because you want the inside scoop on politics. You're tuning in because you want the inside scoop on fishing.
So today, this is Shark Week, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to tell you a few scary stories about sharks, like the big ones we catch are about.
You know, it's funny. You go offshore enough, and you see some crazy things. We've seen some crazy sharks diving. Had some crazy shark stories we'll tell you about. Probably to start off, one of the coolest ones for me was when I was a kid. You used to tell us a story about a giant hammerhead shark you'd seen. Remember that one?
Yeah, so I had a 19-foot Mako boat. We were out at about the 10 miles offshore, and we see this huge hammerhead shark. So I was like, man, how long is that joker? So I pulled a boat up. He was just drifting along. I pulled a boat up beside him, and he was just about as long as that 19-foot boat. I'd say probably 16, 17 footer.
Yeah.
If they get big, I guess they get that big. I don't know, but he was huge, and he wasn't scared of the boat either.
And what's crazy is I was watching Shark Week a couple years ago, and they were talking about this elusive, 19, 20-foot hammerhead.
I saw him.
He was first documented by your
Seen
dad.
the shark.
I saw the St. Johns River serpent in there too.
I remember the story about this serpent.
St. John's River serpent.
Serpent. Hey, and
I know
I'm
this
not
story.
the only one that's ever seen him, but I've seen him twice.
Well, you know it's real if you've seen it twice.
I've seen him at two different parts of the river early in the morning, both times.
Trying to take a picture, but Bigfoot kept getting in the way. Get out of the way of the serpent.
Hey,
That
Terry,
time it was the Yeti.
Terry says, hey y'all.
Hey, man,
Hey,
what's
Terry.
up?
Ocean Deep Fishing says, hey everyone, hope your trip to the Keys was a good one.
It was.
It was.
Keys is always a good time.
Brandon says, how fitting, saw a shark on a boat named for a shark.
It's true. It was a Mako boat.
That's right.
That's an accurate observation, Brandon.
And then Caitlin said, hey guys. And then she said, like the monkey.
Which one of us is the monkey?
She likes the
Right.
monkey.
So, speaking of monkey,
Oh gosh.
funny story. When I was a kid, I was at her parents' house,
True.
and I saw a monkey,
Not true.
which some people don't believe. To this day, they don't believe it.
It's debated regularly.
Right. But what's not so debatable, first time ever we saw a monkey in the Keys this year, in Key Colony.
Driving the boat.
That's what they say. I wasn't
Yeah,
there.
he was.
But he was on the console. He may have been driving, I don't know.
Right.
But
He's done a lot better than some of those guys
I
driving.
mean,
That's probably true.
who'd have thought, like, monkey? I don't think monkeys can swim. And this monkey was out there on the boat.
Mm-hmm.
Can monkeys swim?
Living the boat life.
He's just monkeying around.
Now,
I
I was
don't know.
told because of the
I don't
shape
think
of the
so.
arms, they can't swim, and that's why there's a moat always around the monkey enclosure because they can't get out.
You're right. There's usually no
It's like Animal Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
So anyhow, what about the sharks? You want to tell the story about a shark?
Oh yeah, hang on, one more comment.
Terry was saying last week he got his first wahoo there in Fort Pierce.
Sweet.
Very
How
nice.
big was it? Let us know how big he was and how you did it.
Tammy, if you could catch a fish, if you could choose,
I could choose.
what fish would you want to catch?
Probably a wahoo.
Wahoo. All right, let's sing it.
If you could choose.
I could choose.
Sing it.
That was a test.
It was. Did I pass?
Yeah.
Okay,
I wasn't sure you were gonna get it at
Almost.
first.
Thanks for your
Then you were like, well,
confidence.
I like kingfish. I was like, oh man.
No, no.
Because someone asked him that one time. It was me and him talking. And I had to read the question just like I did in the music video.
Yeah, someone asked.
It's a good music video.
You could choose a fish. I'm like, yeah.
It was a 4 foot long. What a rush.
Wow, that's a big fish.
So that's a good kingfish.
That's right.
Or
Wahoo.
king wahoo.
See, now I got you.
That's on Tammy
Got it
right
rattled.
there. Okay. She had the kingfish brought up. She
Yeah.
made me think she was gonna say kingfish.
There you go.
Had you on your toes.
Right.
Yep.
But yeah, for those of you who don't know, we probably saw on Instagram. We were talking about cousin Drew. Cousin Drew came down to the Keys this past week. To her, he's known as Brother Drew. Okay?
Yes.
He's not
Kind of like Brother Bear.
right.
Brother Drew.
Okay, I mean he's not like a priest. We're not saying that. He's
He's not Friar Drew.
right.
He's just Cousin Drew.
Although after being in the Keys a week, he is a little friar.
I sure hope he's watching.
We're all a little friar, okay? I'm a little friar. He's a little friar. But yeah,
You're not.
Brother Drew, she calls him Brother Drew because he's your brother.
Actually, my brother. Yeah,
Right.
that's how that works.
And to him, she's Sister Tammy. She's not a nun. She's his sister. They were born had the same parents.
Funny how that works out. Kind of like how our parents are sisters, therefore we are cousins.
Right. So our parents, my mom would say Sister Julie.
Little did these viewers know they turned in for a genealogy lesson.
Right.
Yeah.
So speaking of sharks,
Speaking of sharks.
Ocean Deep Fishing want to know if we left any lobster behind for the rest of them.
yes,
And they
sir.
said y'all are too funny.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank you,
we-
Ocean
we-
Deep,
we
for
left-
helping us out.
we left plenty of lobster back there, I can assure you. And there was a bunch of them that was like itsy
Yeah.
bitsy teensy, not quite ready.
Yeah.
But after the next multi, they'll be ready.
So,
But,
So I was there for lobster season last year. Unfortunately, I missed the season. So last year we had a little bit of a hard time finding the keepers.
Mhm.
How was it this season?
the keepers of the holes, lobsters.
What?
Let it go.
What was the original
It was a
question?
very dry
So we
shot
had
at
a
you.
hard time finding legal sized lobster.
Okay.
Right.
How was it this season? Does that
So,
matter?
so we were there mini season, the first 2 days of regular season. Mini season, I felt like there were a bunch that barely kept. I mean, they were keepers, but they barely. Regular season, it got harder, and I felt like I was getting a lot that, like, literally the gauge was touching the back of the
Right.
shell.
That's how I felt like it was last season.
Mm-hmm. So mini season, it was better this year.
Got it.
But by regular season, they
It was hard to
became
come by.
more scarce. Which I think that's when cousin Drew, or brother Drew, came to help us. Because Christopher, who's usually our main lobster guy, wasn't there. He was there for mini season.
He had to work.
Him and Sierra. Yep.
Oh, it's good smelling.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it wasn't too bad. And one thing I didn't notice is usually early in the year, mini season, you get a lot of, you only have to measure.
Yeah.
And that wasn't the case this year. We're probably half of them
Mhm.
may have been, we didn't have to measure at all, but
Yeah.
usually, you don't even mess with them with their close.
A friend of mine in Key Largo is there now, and he says it's been really great fishing or lobstering.
Lobster.
So it sounds good up there. I mean, it was good here. I went, we haven't done regular season in a while, so that's always tougher. That second day of regular season, I was like,
Actually, it was easier, I think, the second day this year. But,
it was easier, but it started slow.
Mhm.
Someone's phone keeps going off. I don't know who
It's all the cousins.
that is. It's all the cousins.
Not to be confused with the siblings, but the cousins.
Your siblings.
My
It
siblings.
gets confusing because some siblings are cousins to others, and vice versa.
Here we go.
So speaking of the keys,
Sharks.
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 Yeah.
Because it's shark
speaking
week.
of sharks,
Circle back around.
we used to stay at a place called Seashell Beach Resort. Seashells at
Say
Seashell
that
Beach
once.
Resort.
She said.
Anyhow, at Seashells, and so what I would do is I'd wait out early in the morning and right before dark, fishing, trying to catch either tarpon or bonefish.
Mhm.
And this particular day here, it was in the evening, it was right before dark, and I was way out there about chest deep. And I was waiting, fishing, and along come about a 6 or 7 foot shark. I don't know, he was a shark, what kind he was or not, but he kind of come in around me and looped and all, and I never would have made it back to shore. Now, when I say 6 or 7, in my mind, he was about a 30-footer, but
It's a big
but
shark.
it gets exasperated because when you're out there with them, it makes them actually bigger than what they are. So that was my shark experience. And you?
Yeah. So we've had a couple. Probably the worst one was I think it was a year or 2 years ago. Might have been a year. We got a YouTube video and you can check it out. But we were diving off of Jacksonville, and there was a thermocline. So about halfway down, it got cold and murky. A very bad viz. You might could see maybe 10 feet, maybe 15. So you can't see very well. And we're on this wreck, this sunken ship. And it's me and Christopher, brother Christopher. And,
Cousin Christopher.
right. Christopher son.
No. Bad biz.
If you, yeah, anyways. And we're down there and we do a dive and we shoot flounder and everything was good, but our anchor got stuck. So we're like, let's go back down, unstick the anchor. While we're down there, we hit a different part of the wreck and we're shooting some more flounder. So like, this is good. And at one point we're sticking flounder. I look up and I see this shark just in view, kind of swim by me. Kind of goes by. Yeah, I think he kind of cruised by. But he's like, whoa. And I've seen nurse sharks and other sharks, but this one's okay. This isn't one of those. See him go by, but these, and I kind of tell Christopher, like, hey Christopher, there's a shark. See, that's the symbol for shark, at least for us when we're diving.
Mine's like,
Yeah.
Time to go.
okay, I'm going up.
Yeah.
Time to go.
So, like, okay, let's go to a different part of the wreck. So this is kind of a long wreck.
Let's stay down there. With
At the
big
time,
shark,
it seemed like a good
but
idea.
it can't swim at the other part.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
We get a different part, and he sees another fine. He sticks one, and I see the shark cruise by again. I'm like, let's make our way back. Not a big deal, Christopher. Well, he's looking down, and a little bit later, he sees another shark, and I see the shark cruise by. But this time, he doesn't just leave; he just kind of comes back. I'm like, hey, Christopher, I've got fish on me.
Yeah.
We've been sticking fish, and it's bad viz. It's kind of like a good recipe for something to go wrong.
Yeah.
So-
You can't see it coming.
Yeah. So that shark kind of goes by, and then he swims by this way, and all of a sudden he whips around hard and swims toward me. So I got my gun up, and I'm getting ready to, poke him. I'm like, Christopher's still shooting fish. He's happy. I'm like,
Christopher's in his element.
I'm fighting off the shark. I'm like, this
What
is
are you
like,
Batman now?
yeah.
Fighting a shark.
That happened on Batman.
It does happen on Batman. He's got shark spray.
I didn't have my shark repellent.
Oh, that's a shame.
But yeah, so the shark, I'm like, Christopher, and I'm like trying to talk in my regulator
Regulator speed.
and trying to tap him, like, hey, guys, the shark. Finally, he looks up. I'm like, look, the shark, and he's still there.
Mm-hmm.
So we're like, come on, man, the shark's just getting aggressive on us. And we start going up. He starts following us, but when we hit that thermocline where the water got hot, he'd stay down. I'm like, geez, that was crazy. Funny thing was, we get back up, we never unstuck our anchor, so we had to go back.
Oh, jeez.
But
But you got more
What I
fish.
always do
In a story.
before you ever come up, make sure the anchor is unstuck.
well, we kind of moved it the first time, but apparently
It
Restuck.
restuck
it
itself.
restuck. Yeah, it did what an anchor's supposed to do.
That is its job.
Okay, what you got there?
Mate Guru wants to know, do you have one or have you ever considered making a scout trip video to Crystal River?
We were going to do that this year. Well, was it Cristobal came through? I think one thing,
Yeah.
and a couple things. But we're still thinking about trying
Yeah.
to
You
do
guys
it.
been scouting?
Mm-mm.
Oh, see, I have been scouting.
Oh, really?
Crystal
Oh,
River.
you can answer
Take
that.
us.
Go.
What was it like?
It's very different than lobstering. I would say it feels like Easter egg hunting. It's
Oh.
great. You just snorkel and you see the scallop and you reach down and you put it in your little bag. Sometimes they get a little snappy at you, but nothing like a lobster.
See what happens when I get snapped.
Just like that.
So do sharks.
And yeah, well, more like that. And then you just fill up your little bag and you get. I think it's a 5-gallon bucket is the limit.
You get 5-gallon buckets when you pick them out. You got like a little baggie full.
Correct, and then it comes down to like maybe a sandwich-sized
Yeah.
Ziploc,
My
but
God.
delicious
Mhm.
and really fun, actually.
I'd like to do that. I was told someone who did scalp who had lobster said lobstering was like scalping on steroids. So I assumed scalping was lobstering on what's that sleepy juice?
There's a lot of options for that. Ambien?
general term, sedatives.
Sedatives. Okay, I was going specific.
Yeah.
Okay.
What you got there, Kelly? You got some stuff?
Jose said, "What's good, guys?"
What's up, Jose?
And they
Welcome
were
back.
saying, "Come to Key West, Tortuga, and when you coming back, we'll go deeper and hit the mahi."
I love to hit Tortuga.
Yeah, we've always talked about doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And then Bait Guru was saying, "We tow our boat from Dallas to Tampa and stop in Crystal River. Later in the season is better, larger scallops."
That's,
Ah,
that's
there
what
you
Mike
go. I
Johnson
went
said the other day.
Like July 4th week is
Oh,
when I went. I
probably
don't know
pretty
when that
crowded.
is. I don't know when that is for
That's
the
probably
season.
been weekend.
Oh yeah, there was tons of boats out there.
Mhm.
But it's not like, I mean, the conditions were nothing compared to the Keys. There was no current, the water was clear. Like I said, it's more like Easter egg hunting
Gotcha.
than lobstering, which is definitely not like Easter egg hunting.
I wonder if you could do the scallop decoys and bring them into you.
Duck
Put a bunch of little dead scallops around there and see if all the others come up to them, you know.
You put them in there the day before, the next day all these scalpers would be like, "What punk put these fake scallops?" He'd be so
What
mad at us.
We can super glue them together and people think they got real scallops.
They'd be like,
I feel like you should engrave them with real hazardous or like RH.
Like
Yeah.
geocaching.
Gotcha on the inside of them.
Okay, a few things. Okay, ocean deep fishing first. That the season usually opens July 1st.
There you go.
That's
That was
what's
there from the
crowded.
beginning.
And then he also said he'll go with us next year if we go. Lots of fun, but not much to eat after all the work.
Yeah, that's what
It's
I heard.
true.
Sounds good. You could show us how to do it.
Okay.
And then Brandon wants to know, is it more hazardous in the water or on the boat?
You're a lobster season?
Depends who
Yes.
I was gonna say it depends who's on the boat,
Yeah,
who's in the water.
I would say depends where dad is.
Depends who's driving the boat.
Listen, I took a lobster to the head one day, right to the nose, Ozugi, right
Oh, I
there
know,
in
you
my
had all
head.
that blood coming down your
Yeah,
face.
I'm sitting down there bleeding like a cut pig. The blood's coming down, everybody's like, "What happened to you?" Christmas threw a lobster in, shot the horn me right down the side of the head.
But the thing about that, Jeremy, he wasn't anywhere near it at the time. He like swims up to the boat and he's already laughing. He doesn't know what happened, who got hurt,
But he
how
knows
it
it's a
happened.
good time.
He's already laughing.
We were catching lobster in record time, and we had a few more to catch, and I hopped into the water. Everyone was happy when I hopped in the water. A few minutes later, I get out of the water, and no one's happy.
Yeah, no.
Everyone's angry and dad's bleeding. And I'm like,
So the appropriate reaction was to laugh.
yeah.
Yeah, I understand that.
I was pulling it.
It's not funny now.
Jose said he caught a blue lobster, sold it.
Oh, wow, I've
A
never.
blue lobster, was he sad or what?
Probably.
Could have the COVID. They
Could
say
have
if
the
you get a
COVID
little
lobster.
bluish look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was a little hypoxic. This is true.
He have a sore throat? And then one of the things.
Hypoxic? Is that what you said?
Did you check his temperature?
What
What
is
the
what's a
temperature of a
normal
lobster?
temperature lobster? I don't know.
If everybody knows the normal temperature of a lobster, how about
So we have
70?
two questions so far.
Depends
Can
on the
monkeys
water?
swim, and what is the temperature of a lobster?
Yeah.
They're cold-blooded though, right? So wouldn't it depend on the temperature of the water? Is that accurate?
To me, I would think they'd probably be close to the water temperature.
I don't think
But,
so.
you know, I don't know.
You put anything in the water for long enough.
We're gonna Google it when we're done.
Okay, William was saying, good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Good
Good
evening.
evening.
Glad you're here.
No, both.
Well,
Oh, good evening.
glad you're there.
Good evening.
Listening to us here.
I wish you were here
Right.
with us behind the camera with our live studio audience.
Our live studio audience.
Yep.
We might even show jokes later.
Mhm.
Might.
If anyone wants to, come to the live studio audience, send us a
Right,
message.
By the way, this is our biggest audience, I think, today. David.
It's a pretty big one.
Yeah.
It feels pretty big.
We're in a big warehouse. We got this nice brick
Brick
fireplace.
wall.
It looks like a house, don't it?
It's
There you go
staged.
for
It's
that.
our set.
It's our set.
It's a good set.
It's like Full House. Isn't
Dude,
it?
perfect. Eat your heart out. If you wish you could be like this, check this fish out. Dude,
Jose
perfect.
was saying- Tortuga is virgin waters, and he's allergic to shellfish.
Oh.
And then William's
What
hitting the creek tomorrow for Reds.
Sounds
Very
good.
good. That redfish in the creeks is fun. With a capital F. Fun.
2 N's or 1?
Hmm.
Fun.
Depends on the day.
Fun. Is it F-U-N-N-E-D?
Fun? Like
Fun?
expensive?
This might be hard to believe, but I'm having issues finding the body temperature of a lobster.
Yeah.
It's just us trying to figure it out. Where do we stick the thermometer? In his mouth, and he crushed the last one.
I put it in his butt and he popped away.
Brandon wants to know how the hammerhead shark do on his test, Jeremy.
Oh,
The hammerhead shark do on his test.
I believe that was the question.
Which test?
Oh.
Right back at you with a question.
Yeah.
Two can play that game.
Clarification, please. It's like on the spelling bees when they ask
He
for
nailed
like
it.
the origin.
He nailed it.
He nailed it. Didn't matter the kind.
I see what she did there.
Clever.
People are gonna stop asking questions like that. Dude asked questions back.
Like
Yeah, he does.
all our listeners, throw us your best joke.
Okay.
Give us your deepest question.
Okay,
William said fun with a bunch of N's.
Oh, there you go.
Jose said you have to hit the tide right. He had to hit the right tide.
For
For scalloping?
Or he could be talking about the drive tour too.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
And then
He said
Kaylin
versus.
said, Tammy has a shark story. So I guess
You
this
do.
Kaylin knows you.
Kaylin knows me, yes. Hey, Kaylin. Shark story. I did go, Kaylin and I, who's watching right now, went diving with sharks in Honduras.
on purpose.
Intentionally,
Okay.
yes. Yes. Unlike Jeremy's unintentional
That's
shark
true.
encounter, ours was very intentional. It was pretty cool though. Like it was a shark dive, so
Mhm.
you know they feed the sharks regularly, and you get down there and there's not a shark in sight.
Is that why they
Seem a
let y'all
little
dive?
disappointed.
What do they feed the sharks with? Because that changes everything.
That's-
No wonder they let you come down there. Oh, come on and dive. We're short on food today, but
Short
hey.
on food.
We'll give you a free trip today. How's that
Yeah,
sound?
yeah, you'll come back looking like Stumpy or something like that, you know?
But no, it was great. There were no sharks down there initially, and then you know they are conditioned to know that they're gonna get fed, and
Mhm.
one by one you just start. You see one, and then two, and then all of a sudden there's 7 and 12 and
So what happened
20. It was
they-
crazy.
When they stop feeding them and you guys are still in their stuff.
They just disappear when the food's gone. When the chum bucket's
Yeah,
out, they
so there's
just
a couple divers too.
Well, you know.
You count them when you went on what way?
yeah, you know,
Where'd
buddy
Fred
system.
go?
My buddies were there, and that's
Fred,
all
don't
that
worry
mattered.
about Fred.
Fred,
And
was on a free ride.
one thing, like, not to take away from Shark Week, I love Shark Week, and getting in with all those sharks is pretty scary, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's different, and when I get in the water and we're spearfishing, we're not in the area trained with sharks, and,
No.
and there's no, like I'm the expert, just because it's like me and Christopher, me and him are tied for expert, and that's scary because we're not
I was
experts.
just gonna say that's
Okay.
intimidating.
I feel like at least on these shark dives,
Right.
these celebrities, they go in and they've got cameramen, they've got professionals, and
Cages.
they're giving them like a heads up. And I can't like Google what shark is this, what do? I got no signal. Or I'm like, I can't even really talk to Christian because we're limited to signals like shark and are you okay?
And
Time to go out.
No.
Yeah.
So,
So
what
what
we
you
got?
Brady and Tucker say hey.
Hey Brady, hey
Brady,
Tucker.
hey, Tucker.
Let's go fishing.
And Beth Ann.
Beth Ann,
She didn't say hey,
Yeah,
but
man.
you know.
I'm sure she wanted to.
cousin Brady, cousin Tucker, cousin.
More cousins.
We call her Dancing Beth.
It's cousin night.
Mhm.
Ray Forbes wants to know how the garden's doing with all the rain. Hope you guys are doing well. Love the channel.
Ray, we miss you, big guy.
The rice is doing fantastic.
Exactly. The only thing that's growing out there now is okra, and they told me that okra don't like wet feet. Baloney, because that's the only thing that's been growing in that foot of water.
It
right now.
is.
Yeah, I went out there and tried to till it up today, and I was like tilling mud.
I'm surprised they tried to make
Sure
it
was
stuck.
mud.
I did get stuck actually.
Oh, there
That's
you
why
go.
we got that scoop on there, so I can push myself back down.
Self digging.
But glad to have you on the rat. I haven't seen you in forever.
Yeah, man, you gotta come fishing with us again. We had a hazardous moment when you went fishing with us.
Oh yeah.
The
Yeah.
most hazardous moment, to be honest with
What happened?
Filled the boat up with water.
you.
Didn't we?
Yeah,
When was that?
almost
Oh, you
flipped,
didn't hear
a,
about
That's
it?
not how that's supposed to work.
So
flipped a 30-foot boat. Who does that?
Yeah, we were coming back.
You definitely.
We were trying to get back into St. Augustine Inlet, and it was rough, and we couldn't see the buoy. So I'm up on the bow, looking for the buoy. Next thing I look, we take a big wave, and I look, and every one of them are soaked to the bone. I'm dry as a bone. I'm like, what happened to you guys? Oh,
So-
big
You
wave.
took them whitewater rafting.
So yeah, I'm at the driving, and when the boat hit, I'm trying to stay upright, so I'm leaning back, and I get hit with water, not like splashes of water, like solid water hit me in the back.
wave.
Yeah, halfway up the console. Guys in the back of the boat got knocked down. When the boat went on the other side of the wave, the motors were totally out of the water when it went up like that.
Mhm.
It was pretty crazy.
Sounds terrible.
You got fire waiting.
Yes.
Okay, let's catch up.
Okay, what's running up by you in November?
Hazardous,
Ocean
yes.
Deep should have his boat by then.
Redfish, flounder, trout, up in the river, offshore. Usually the kings are already gone, but then the
Yeah.
bottom fishers picking up sea bass. and
Sea bass,
stuff like
yeah. Might be some shrimp, depending on what
that. Oh
brand
yeah,
it is.
exactly.
He wants to do Jacksonville or St. Augustine for flounder. Any good spots up there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, flounder are structure-oriented fish. Wherever you can find some rocks near sand, docks, any kind of structure that's in the water, a big structure, is good for holding this flounder. And I like to fish the down current side
Mm-hmm.
and throw in there to them because the fish will wait for the ambush of the
Waiting
bait
for it.
coming around.
That
You
makes
can a
sense.
lot of times you can find those if you watch the mullet feeding out, you'll see where the flounder are. Cause when you see them taking off and everything,
Mhm.
that's usually the flounder or redfish after.
That makes sense.
Let us know when you come out. Maybe we can do a trip together.
There you go.
Okay, Jose said they have closed a lot of Tortuga rallies, hump closed for years, full of 10+ pound snapper.
They close it because of COVID or what?
Just blame everything on COVID. It's
We're
fine.
just throwing
It's a
that
catch-all.
out there.
Yeah.
Tammy, will you give a shout out to Beth Ann?
Hey, Beth Ann. Did we just do that?
Yeah, but she wants it from you.
Oh, hi, Beth Ann.
Our guest star.
Sorry. Sorry, the show wasn't good enough.
Not about you. It's about cousin night.
Speaking of which, Danielle and John went cage shark
That's
diving.
true.
Oh, yeah.
Cousin Danielle and cousin John went
Wow.
shark diving.
So did you tell them about
In the
what we?
cage.
How'd they get the sharks in the cage?
That's enough. You know what? That'll be our favorite question that we come up with tonight. Can monkeys swim? What's the temperature of lobster? And how do you get sharks in the cage?
Put in the
Real,
chunk.
real quick, me and Jeremy was thinking about making a lobster cage out of crab traps, wasn't we? Putting them all over
Oh, a
there.
lobster cage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said a gauge.
Gauge. I heard gauge
Lobster
too.
cage, we're gonna zip time together,
Yeah, we're gonna make the first wooden shark cage.
2x4s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of shark stories, we do need to have cousin John on one time for he's got the best. Cousin Kayla's giving me a dirty look. I'm like,
Because Danielle
John
just texted me that.
John has a fantastic shark story.
That's
He's-
exactly what she just texted, so I was a little, oh, that you saw
Come
that.
on, come
We're
on out, John,
sisters.
we're gonna do this.
on the same page.
Okay.
Oh.
Then are y'all guys doing a meet and greet soon?
Are we talking about
Again.
Lewis? Cause I know he mentioned.
Yeah, I mean, we'd like to soon. Last time it was kind of bad. We had storm and COVID. But if you're interested in meeting up, maybe you got like a
You
good
didn't have-
time.
Let me clarify.
I
He
didn't
did not
have
have COVID. COVID was a social problem.
Yeah.
And there was also a storm.
If you
Thank
guys would comment on this video or somewhere on our page, let us know if you want to do a meetup and what time of day, like in the weekend,
Mhm.
nights, something like that. Let me know.
Okay, Ray was saying that was definitely an interesting moment. Glad you guys stayed calm and got the situation under control.
Well, they say bad season makes good
Interesting
sailors,
moment.
right, Ray?
I believe it was a hazard.
And by the way, Ray's one of our local attorneys, a good attorney, but not only that, but he's a good fisherman. In fact, he went through school and working on those fishing boats, so he
Oh
knows,
yeah.
he knows his stuff. He's a big asset on the boat.
Mm-hmm.
Just a shout out
Okay.
to you, Ray.
And then Christopher, brother Christopher, for Jeremy. The body temperature of a lobster depends on the water temperature. It's about 85 degrees in the Keys this year.
Nice.
Very good.
So I wonder if they're lethargic in the winter.
Christopher's
Makes sense.
a scholar. For those of you who don't know.
Does anybody have lobster lethargic when the water is cold?
I don't know, like when you go scalping, you put them on ice to make them lethargic. So I wonder if you could do that with lobster in the boat.
Maybe we should take CO2 when we can't catch one. We'll just take fire that CO2, freeze them, and then reach in there and grab them. What do you think? Hey, that's an idea.
That kind of
We
sounds
can
like
try that.
dynamite fishing, which is kind of shallow. Not good.
Because that's gonna leave a lot of residual. I just love to see someone's face down current when they see like an iceberg, a small iceberg. Like, is that an iceberg in the Keys?
In the Keys?
A little bit too much CO2 on that one, huh?
Yeah.
No, global warming.
Like there's
What's
an
he got there?
iceberg.
Yeah. Everything's confused.
Brandon was saying, Jeremy, I heard you had a new saying for Cousin Drew.
We did come up with cousin Drew. Oh, I was saying. Let's see how to go.
Would you like me to read it?
It was Happy Drew, Happy You.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the
That's
different one.
specifically
Is
for
that like
Hunter
is that
out
like a
there.
sheep?
That was for
It's a shout out for
cousin
Hunter.
Is that like a sheep?
I thought that the saying was the,
Happy
what are we gonna do? Call
Um,
cousin Drew.
When you don't know what to do, call cousin Drew. If anyone needs like someone to work as a fishing mate or someone to help catch lobster, I'll get you in contact with cousin Drew.
He can make sure I'm taking the line, dude.
Oh my goodness, I got a great video of that.
Oh yeah, I had the biggest bird's nest on the line there.
Mm.
It was so big that the what's the big birds that fly up there?
Eagles?
Pterodactyls?
No, not
What a mix.
I mean, that's valid.
modern birds
Seagulls,
I
pelicans,
wanted to
Pelicans.
emphasize the size of this bird.
for the mahi. What do they look for?
Frigates.
Frigates.
Frigates. The frigates were trying to make
But
a
if you
nest
saw
on the line.
pterodactyls,
while he was
you
trying
should
to
go
do
there
it.
too.
What's he-
what a different array of birds. But Jose was saying they used to catch 1,500 pounds of a snapper there a day, but they
Wow.
closed it.
Wow, that's a lot of
Wow.
snappers.
That's a lot of
And then
snapper.
bait
So
guru
that's
want to
something.
know, did you meet with Dan from Florida fishing couple or Heiko this past trip to the Keys? Looking forward to the videos.
Yeah, we were going to do that, but
Yeah.
because of the storm,
yeah, that
and it was so
hurricane.
windy.
it came through, and we tried to reschedule. It didn't work out, so we didn't get a trip. But talked to them, and we are trying to reschedule. We're planning on going back to the Keys, hoping to get them up here one day. I'd really like to take them out of Jacksonville. I think
Right.
they like some of our trips.
We're gonna go on a mutton snapper fishing trip with them.
Mutton busting the
Which
black
we
hawk.
did have a good mutton video coming out.
Oh
too.
yeah, great
That's
mutton
that's
stuff.
gonna be a good one.
And part
Are
2
we
of
all
your
caught
snapper
up?
video.
It's true.
Are we all caught
I'm
up?
looking forward
Yep.
to that one.
What's coming out tomorrow?
Part 2 with Tammy.
What's tomorrow?
Tomorrow, tomorrow's video.
Oh,
Um,
I don't know.
Really?
yeah, we got a video coming to
I'm on the edge of my seat too, guys. What's tomorrow?
Tomorrow is a king fishing trip. It's really exciting. We're fishing with Captain Chris and Captain Wyatt from the Hot Pursuit. And we test. I try to catch a king, but I'm going to spoil it, on 4-pound line.
Ooh.
And, hard to imagine, my dad gets a little frustrated when he has some gaff issues. He misses some
Ooh.
gaff. He gets a little angry.
Angry.
Mm-hmm.
You have video evidence of this?
Yeah, I will
I will be
admit, I will
tuning in
admit,
tomorrow, let me tell you.
I was not happy with that gas.
You might have heard,
You-
you might hear Chris yell,
baseball bat.
edit, edit. You hear me say, oh yeah.
You've heard of there's such thing as a flying gaff, and this was a flying gaff, and at the same time it wasn't technically a flying gaff.
Got it.
So,
So there may be a little editing in this third version. Got
don't worry, it's still kid friendly. No bad words. But he was very upset.
The fun meter was very low.
Yeah. Fun meter dropped down to the red zone.
That's a new thing that happened this past year at the Keys. We
Fun
came up with
meter.
the fun
The
meter.
fun meter.
And we'll refer to that on a regular basis. on
Okay.
my
From
feed.
I like that.
It's not
Gives a
gaining.
good visual cue.
It doesn't gain a lot of acceptance because it's the metric system, but we are trying to fund yard, and that's doing well.
Terry,
That's terrible.
That's
Terry wants to know where do
hardly the
you
worst joke I've told.
Oh, trust me. I am well aware.
Okay.
Terry wants to know where do you all do most of your fishing at?
I'd say most of it's here in Jacksonville. And then the Keys are our annual
Yeah.
trip down there. But
We are wanting to spread our region. We're looking at doing some trips in Venice, on the Gulf Coast. If you would like to, help us out, if any of you guys are anywhere around Carolina, South Florida, Gulf Coast, we'd love to. If you had us, we'll
Bering Sea.
Yeah.
Australia.
we'd love to split the
Australia,
expenses.
definitely.
You got an invite out
And,
there.
Well, I mean, you did a spotlight in
Or if you
Alabama
just-
recently.
yeah,
So-
sure. You could help us out at least with the area. We'd appreciate it. We'll try some new
Get some tips.
fisheries.
We're gonna see what we can catch or can't
Mhm.
catch.
It's true.
Is that it?
Okay, all caught up.
All right.
Well,
We have one more pop up.
down.
Yeah.
That's right.
Brandon said come down under.
Is that what?
Definitely
It's
like
Australia,
to
isn't it?
Australia. So
Talk about some sharks.
we're gonna do a fish with exploding fish, exploding fish rod holders.
A great bunch of guys too.
Evolution 360. They're in Australia, so I'd like to fish with them one day.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
good goal.
We had them out here to the house and do a visit with those guys.
Awesome.
Alrighty.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you enjoyed the video. Special guest,
Thanks to our audience out here.
Our live studio
Live studio
audience.
audience. This was performed in front of a live studio
That's
audience.
true. You hear like,
Here we go.
Someone
There's
came
also a dog snoring in the background, so he couldn't have been
The
too
dog is
good.
asleep as well.
Someone came all the way from what part of Alabama was that? Where you live?
mid.
Auburn, Alabama?
That's a little
Auburn.
down. What's
Danville. Enterprise.
We'll just
Danville.
Auburn's probably.
Vanville,
Auburn's
they
probably the
get-
easiest.
Vanville, the great metropolis of Vanville.
Okay.
Population 3, and 2 of them are here. They're down to 1.
I'm probably saying this wrong, but Nepo Frog wants to know where he can get a real hazardous t-shirt.
Well, our Teespring, look below. There should be a list of Teespring stuff
Right now?
right now. Should be right now.
That's this type of shirt, and then we got the performance that
Yep.
they would come to us for.
It'd be like my dad wear a tank top. We got a tank top. You know, t-shirt. Wear a t-shirt. What? Purple, gray, white, long sleeves, hoodie.
There's a hoodie.
Yep.
Mm.
Kind of
Sweat-
gonna
What
do
did I
hoodie.
get for Christmas?
I was gonna do the yoga pants.
Nice.
If you're women, we have women's tanks. If you're women.
You a women.
If you were women,
If you're women.
we got a shirt for you.
Leave that one alone.
Alright, but appreciate it, man. Thanks everyone watching. Don't forget, video tomorrow. Set your alarm clocks or your phones or
11 a.m.
something like that.
Don't use this hand, use this one.
Right. And
That's
we'll see you
11.
there.
That's 10:30.
Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.